Hey everybody, welcome. As promised, we're recording it. We tried to go on live today and it didn't work. That's okay. So I'm Brandy Millsap with Brandy Millsap Wellness, and I know a lot of you have been asking a lot of questions about is it safe to use essential oils while you're pregnant? And the answer is yes. And although I know a little bit about it, I have asked Julie, who's an expert on pregnancy and essential oils and how to use them in which trimester, which ones you should avoid, and then we'll talk a little bit about the new one and how you can support the baby with essential oils. So Julie, how did you get started in essential oils?
My sister shared with me. I'm so excited to be with you today, guys. Brandy is amazing. I just love her to pieces, and it's so sweet to have me on with you. So my sister shared some peppermint with me. I had gone through a windy canyon and gotten car sick, and she put some oil on my finger and told me to lick it and drink some water. So I did, and I was just blown away by how powerful it was and how quickly it calmed my digestive upset and how much better I felt. And I started going, oh my gosh, what else can essential oils do? How else can these help my family? So
awesome. That is so awesome. So why did you decide to focus primarily on pregnancy and moms and babies?
I have always been drawn to that stage in life. I have 5 children, so I had 4 without essential oils, and it's tough. There's so many things that you deal with between morning sickness, and then when the baby comes, then it's stuff like teething and just the never-ending things that you need solutions for. And I thought, you know what, that's who I want to help. I want to help the moms with the babies because that's my heart and my passion.
Right. So a lot of times we reach for over-the-counter stuff, right? And so having that essential oil was, you really wanted to have something natural, right?
Right. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So you've used it for one pregnancy?
Yes. Yep. My 5th baby, I had essential oils for. I call him my oil baby.
Oh, that's awesome.
See if this works.
That's awesome. Sorry, they're mowing the lawn, and so I'm just moving out into the hall. Okay, well, let's talk about the first trimester. So we've got nausea, we've got fatigue, we've got all that going on. What would you recommend essential oil-wise to help support during the first trimester?
Okay, so you mentioned morning sickness, and that is one of the first things I knew when I was pregnant because I started throwing up and I had that nausea going on. So the number one oil for that is cardamom, which surprised me. I expected it to be more like peppermint or digestin, but they too are also supportive, and they can be rubbed right on your wrist, the back of your neck, and back here. And the cardamom especially will actually block those receptors that tell you that you have the nausea and the morning sickness. So those are super good to be able to help calm your stomach and help you feel well. The peppermint is also really energizing as we talk about fatigue and just being super tired and drained all the time. Any of the citrus oils are a good pick-me-up. The Motivate blend has both the peppermint and the mint as well as the citrus. And so it's a really energizing, motivating oil too.
So since you brought up peppermint, I know that peppermint is one of those essential oils that you want to avoid later in pregnancy, but it's safe and okay to use during the first trimester.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The only time you want to shy away from pregnancy is when your body is producing milk to feed your baby. So it's really supportive of when you're done nursing and it's time to quit producing milk. Then pregnancy or peppermint can help during that time. So you would want to avoid it probably assuming that you're going to breastfeed just the last few weeks before your baby is born, maybe the last month or even the last trimester. But yeah, at the beginning of pregnancy, it is totally okay. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Now, would you recommend, so when we first find out we're pregnant, we obviously were thinking about nutrition and sleep and prenatal vitamins. What would you recommend on a natural end for that prenatal care?
Okay, so I'm glad that you mentioned the lifelong vitality supplements because those are amazing at getting your body the right nutrients it needs. So your body is also creating a baby as well. And so it's so important that both you and your baby are getting what it needs. And the lifelong vitality supplements are perfect because your body recognizes them as a whole food supplement. And so it's digested properly, it's absorbed properly, and it has all of the omega fish oils, which is going to help as your baby's brain is developing, and supporting your, you hear of like mommy brain a lot. The lifelong vitality can help with that and support you with that. And then also when you're nursing, the lifelong vitality is crucial because it has the proper levels of zinc and the omegas as well, so that you are producing enough milk, and it's that high quality to get your baby the nutrients that it needs as well.
Okay, great. So what about the fatigue, like being able to, obviously for during the first trimester, you're not worried about sleep because you're sleeping all the time. So is it just the is it just the peppermint oil, or is there something else? And the lifelong vitality, is there anything else that you want to just mention? Because I know that fatigue, it can just be really hard.
Yeah, it's real. So the emotional oils we talked about, Motivate a little bit, is going to help you as well. I like to put wild orange and peppermint together in my hands and rub that together and do a big pick-me-up with wild orange and peppermint. Mixed together are good. Also, I'm going to bring up lemon because lemon is such like a happy, energizing oil, and you need to be drinking enough water while you're pregnant. So putting lemon in your water is going to help to energize and uplift you as well, and help with those roller coaster emotions.
That was my next question. What about those roller coaster emotions?
So just using oils in general is going to help.
Okay.
Go ahead. Did you have a question?
No, just like, that the anger and the up and down and up, down. I think the lifelong vitality helps stabilize that. And then
For
citrus oils.
For sure. Yeah. Both. And if you've seen the emotional aromatherapy kit from doTERRA, it has Peace, which is our reassuring blend. It has Forgive to help when you have anger issues. And Console is the next one. Passion and Motivate. Which one am I forgetting?
Cheer.
Cheer. Yes. Like crucial for the roller coaster of emotions during pregnancy and then postpartum as well, as you deal with like postpartum depression and your body's trying to adjust. Those emotional oils are invaluable.
Awesome. Okay, let's jump into the second trimester. So for me, that's when I started seeing some stretch marks happen. I started to gain some weight, so I wasn't feeling like super pretty anymore. So what can we do for to avoid those stretch marks or minimize them?
Yes. So Immortelle is our what's it called now? What blend?
Proprietary blend. I don't know, Immortelle. I just call it Immortelle.
It has a new name. I don't remember what the blend, anyway. But it is really, really good for stretch marks. So I like to rub it directly on my stomach, anywhere that I'm like concerned about my skin being able to stretch. Another one that I really loved and was super helpful was the I'm trying to blank. The not the exfoliating scrub. What's the other one called, Brandy? The it's like cream. No, the cream in the turquoise.
You know what? I don't know because I don't have it.
You don't have it?
No.
Oh,
we'll look it up and post it in the comments.
Yeah. Okay.
So you just use that cream?
Yes.
The body butter?
Yeah. Yes, it's the body butter. I'm like blank. The body butter.
I go through a thing of that.
A lot of body butter all over my stomach. Yes, it's amazing.
Okay. Awesome. Now I'm trying to think. Now it's been like 21 years since I have been pregnant. So what else do we experience during that? We started
heartburn.
Pressure. Huh?
Heartburn.
Yes.
Heartburn, like all that digestive upset, anything like spicy is like setting me off. So drinking enough lemon water, that helps with heartburn. Also taking peppermint, like the little peppermint beadlets, anything like that, or the digest tabs that are chewable. Those are super, super helpful for any kind of like heartburn stuff that's going on.
Okay, awesome. I think that's about it, right? Because it's really, we start to feel the pain and the discomfort and the aches,
Backache.
swollies, the backaches, the pelvic pain, all that in the third trimester. So let's jump there.
Okay. So the backache, one of my favorites for that is the Deep Blue rub. If you're familiar with Deep Blue, it's so supportive of and soothing of like aches and pains and joints. Achy feet, Deep Blue is my go-to. Backaches, even like during labor as you're laboring. I'm one that tends to get a little back labor going on, and so Deep Blue is super supportive of the achiness. Yeah. Oh, and then sleep. We mentioned sleep. By the third trimester, that's when I start to like not sleep well at all, like toss and turn and can't get comfortable. Serenity, the sleep restful blend, that is a go-to in my diffuser. I also love Balance. Balance just grounds me and calms me and really helps me to sleep better as well. Balance and Serenity. Like what else for third trimester?
I think at that point we're starting to get a little bit nervous about labor, like especially if it's the first pregnancy. So maybe we can kind of talk about preparing for labor. Especially, I remember when I was pregnant all 3 times, that last month I was ready. And the last 2 weeks I was really ready. And I was doing anything and everything that I possibly could to get that baby here. So are there things that we can do that if it's safe and it's time to go into labor that we can do to help promote and bring labor on?
Okay, so there's 2 essential oils that are really good to help labor get going and be really effective. Now, like Brandy said, you're not going to want to use them before you're 40 weeks, but clary sage is number 1. That is an oil that is super beneficial to help get your labor going. I'm always one that tends to go overdue. So I'm like, bring this baby on, because I'll be like 2 weeks overdue and still no baby. So clary sage, and you can rub that right on your stomach, right on your abdomen. You can also rub clary sage on the inside of your ankles. And because I go so long in labor, then I was using it like every few hours, every day, trying to get my labor to going. So, and it was super, super supportive in helping my body to prepare and be ready for birth. Jasmine is another one that can be used in the same manner. I love the smell of jasmine, and it's super supportive of your body as it goes into this childbirth process.
That was going to be one of my other questions, is how often were you using it? And because it's safe and it's effective, and for some people it's a little bit different. I know when Melissa was trying to go into labor, she was doing it every hour.
Yeah.
So is that what you find, is like it's every hour, every 2 hours?
Yeah, I would say just as needed, as kind of you're drawn to it more than others. For me, it was like, let's get this baby here, because I was way overdue. But I think it's something that you could use just on a regular basis, maybe 3 times a day. It depends. Every situation is so unique and different, depending on, if you're due, overdue, that sort of thing.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's talk about labor. What essential oils can we use during labor, especially if we're trying to go natural?
Okay, going natural. So I'm going to mention diffusing. Right off the bat, diffusing oils. When you need to like relax, you can put in some peaceful ones like the Peace Blend. Anything that's calming. It's kind of just a matter of preference. And then when you need like energy, pick me up to push the baby out, peppermint is good. Wild orange, the Motivate, anything like that. Lavender is really, really good and calming if you're feeling the anxiety of it all. Now, as far as going natural, let's talk about pain. Deep Blue is really good for pain on lower back. I mentioned that. One that helped me to not have to have stitches is Helichrysum. To be able to apply Helichrysum as the baby's crowning and coming out, it is so supportive of the pain as well as the bleeding and the tissue being able to stretch around that baby's head.
Okay. So that was applied during crowning?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, was it diluted or just a couple of drops applied?
No, it was not diluted, just applied right on. You could use it as like a pre-thing the week before as in preparation for your body for that. I didn't, but you could.
Okay.
But my baby was huge. He was like 10 pounds and I didn't have to have stitches. So, hey, helichrysum!
That's awesome. Awesome. Okay. Let's talk about the healing process for the mom. If we do have to have stitches afterwards, what can we use to help support that?
Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I've been told, no essential oils directly on the stitches because it can like eat the stitches away. Um, I made a mixture of, it was lavender, frankincense, and helichrysum with fractionated coconut oil spray bottle, and you can spritz it on pads and freeze them, and that is really, really cooling and just awesome to promote the healing process. You can also make a spray and spray it directly on to heal the preemie.
I've also heard that you can do little cloth pads that you soak in witch hazel with the
Yeah.
essential oils. You can use those as peri-clean to just clean and wipe with.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Anything else that, perhaps maybe let's talk about at this point, we're starting to get our milk in.
Yes.
For those that want to breastfeed, is there any tips to help prepare for that?
Okay, we talked about lifelong vitality, and that really is going to be key. And then there's a couple other oils that you can use to increase your milk supply and also to get your milk to come in sooner. Number one would be the clary sage. You can use that as well. You can rub it directly on. And then also fennel is really good. You can rub fennel directly on your breast or taking it internally. I don't like the taste, so I usually do one of those like clear capsule things. But fennel and basil are both really good to be able to increase your milk supply and support you through breastfeeding.
Awesome. I did not know the clary sage. That's amazing. Let's talk about baby's here and we want to support the baby. How soon do you start using essential oils on your little one?
Okay, so we used essential oils right off the bat. Balance is our grounding blend, and putting a little bit of balance on baby's feet when they're newborn just really tells the baby everything's okay. It's our grounding blend, so it grounds them here of you belong here, this is where you're supposed to be, and everything's going to be okay. It puts all those cells in order and really helps to calm the baby. Another one that we use right off the bat is frankincense. Frankincense is the king of all oils, and it connects the baby to his father. And so we use the frankincense on the crown of their head and then also down the spine. And then lastly, we use myrrh, and myrrh is kind of the mother of all oils, if you will. It connects the baby emotionally to the mother, and putting the myrrh around the baby's belly button, it creates a liquid seal. And so that belly button is able to, where the umbilical cord was, is able to seal off quickly and heal quickly and support the baby that way. So those are the three: balance, frankincense, and then myrrh. And then we like lavender too. As you do your baby's first bath, a little bit of lavender in the water is very, very calming and supportive of the baby's skin that way.
So one of the questions that we had before our live feed went away was, do we need to worry about dilution? Or how many drops should we be using?
Yeah. Okay, so it's always a good idea the touch kit oils are safe for baby use. As much as possible, I always like to use the oils on their feet. And then if need be, I can move elsewhere. But our feet have the biggest pores on our body, and the oil is quickly absorbed. And so like if they have a stomach ache, you can use the Digest-N roller on their feet or also on their tummy to support them that way. lavender is really calming on their feet. Another one that we do is breathe when they're having respiratory, especially if you're nursing. Any kind of like congestion is really super hard because the baby needs to be able to breathe to eat. And so the breathe diluted on the toes is super helpful and supportive.
Awesome. So let's kind of just touch on a couple of things. Thrush, maybe colic, and then maybe teething. Should we touch on those?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so thrush, you're going to want to use Melaleuca, which is our tea tree oil, and it can be applied directly to the mother's nipple as well as the baby's mouth, either diluted or undiluted, and just put, in the baby's gums and around to help with thrush. Teething is such a challenge, but I've had the most success with clove, diluted clove. So one of those 5-8 sample drums, those little tiny bottles, I like to do about 4 or 5 drops of clove in it and then fill the rest up with fractionated coconut oil. So about a drop per tablespoon, something in there, 2 drops per tablespoon. And then that can be applied directly to their gums. So I just dab a little on my finger, rub it right on his gums. You can always test it out on yourself first if you're worried or concerned, but clove. And then the other one is Siberian fir. And I don't dilute Siberian fir. I just put it on directly, and that is super helpful with the pain. It's crazy how fast they like calm down, and it's able to help them. So, and then you mentioned colic.
When you do this,
go ahead.
Is it just on the jawline, or is it in the mouth as well?
In the mouth. I do it in the mouth on the gum. But you could do on the jaw. I like to do the lavender touch roller bottle on their jaw as well. So that could be done. That could be done as well.
Okay.
To help with teething.
Okay.
So, and then colic would be, the Digestin roller is amazing. Heaven sent. That would probably be, that's my number one recommendation would be the Digestin.
So the bottoms of the feet, the belly, where are you applying them?
Either one, sometimes both. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did thrush, colic, and teething. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to, you know what? I have one more. Diaper rash.
Okay. Diaper rash. Okay, diaper rash. I was looking at my notes here. So diaper rash, lavender is a good one to go to. Again, the roller can be a little sensitive depending on how bad the baby is. But lavender, Roman chamomile, and Melaleuca are all ones. There's recipes for natural baby powder that you can use with the oils. To be honest, I haven't done too much of that, and I don't know. He really hasn't had, I remember with my other kids, like huge diaper rashes. And with him, I don't know if it's because I'm taking Lifelong Vitality now or because we're just using oils in general, but diaper rash isn't something that we've been faced with a lot. So I've been pleasantly surprised.
Wow, that's impressive.
Maybe the Digestin roller. I'm not sure what's made the difference there, but.
That's amazing. Well, I'll go ahead and post a couple of recipes, one for like a paste and one for maybe some baby wipes. That's really great. You know, the wipes that are out there these days are full of chemicals. And so I know that we've loved using on my granddaughter, the natural baby wipes. And they're cost effective.
And I'm so excited on May 23rd to see what doTERRA comes out with, their baby line. I'm like, maybe it's something for teething, or maybe it's baby wipes or diaper rash. So I'm excited to see what the new products are in the new baby line.
I know. I wish we knew.
Yeah. The suspense.
Well, do you want to tell everybody how they can find you on Facebook and on social media?
Sure. I am on Essentials for Mom and Baby on Facebook, and that's my number one go-to, and I'm always posting tips and helps for moms and babies with oils.
Awesome. Well, Julie, thank you so much for coming in and chatting and for being patient during that whole live thing. So awesome. Well, if you guys have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments below. And I'm sure Julie wouldn't mind kind of checking in and making sure that the questions are being answered. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, awesome. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Hey, thanks, Becky.
Bye-bye.